What's going on, everybody? Kennybomb is in the building, and one thing we know about these guest characters from Mortal Kombat is their fatalities usually come directly from the source material. We look at Omni-Man, his fatalities straight from Invincible. We look at Homelander, his fatalities straight from The Boys. We look at Peacemaker. I don't know where his fatalities come from because I've never watched the show, but I've done some research on our Khaos Reigns guest characters, and I can tell you this, they all have some pretty iconic kills. So what should their fatalities be? Today, we're going to take a look at just that. But first, I got to let y'all know that I am giving away 3 editions of Mortal Kombat 1 Khaos Reigns. All you got to do is drop a like on this video to support the giveaway and smash that subscribe button if you haven't already, because on September 20th, I will be doing a live stream. And during that live stream, we will be picking our 3 winners. Now let's get into it.
Run, boy, they coming down.
All right, so we're talking about fatalities today, but we got to play it safe because YouTube has me in the hot seat right now. I mean, I couldn't show you the videos anyway due to copyright reasons, so I'm going to be showing you screenshots and I'm going to explain the fatalities, starting with Conan. Now, as I said in the intro, I did some research, and I think I got Conan mixed up with George of the Jungle. But this is definitely not George of the Jungle because Conan is a bad man. He definitely belongs in Mortal Kombat. I think he's just getting here a little bit too late. So what's Conan's fatality going to be? Here's one shot we're going to look at right here. And it looks like this is the sword he has in his hand. And he is a bad man with this sword. If you've ever seen Conan, then you probably know this guy. This scene alone actually made me want to watch the movie. But Conan goes face to face with this man. Conan's actually in his eyes right now. Let's see it from his point of view. You see this big old man with this knife that I showed you in the first picture? He stabs it in the guy's neck. After he does that, the guy just stares at Conan. Now, this is a bloody scene. I had to kind of edit out some of the blood here, but he's just looking at Conan in his face. And then he turns around and he looks at his crowd of people. Conan grabs the back of his head. So you can see this in the Mortal Kombat universe. After grabbing the back of his head, Conan chops it off. So that's the fatality. Conan walks up to the opponent, sticks the knife in, they turn around, he cuts the head off. He holds the head up to the camera like that. Now, at the end of the scene, he actually threw the head down the steps. Of course, we're not going to have these steps in Mortal Kombat 1, so what he could do is hold that head out and throw it at the camera. Pop! Have it bounce off. That's a crazy fatality. That is a brutal fatality. And I think this probably is going to be one of the fatalities they go with for Conan. Now, the second one I have for Conan is a pretty simple one, but I think it would be really good. We know we're getting animalities, right? So animals can be in Mortal Kombat. I say we have Conan either go off screen or the horse just run on screen. Conan jumps on his back. The horse runs off screen. He takes that knife, that sword he has, just drives by, whoosh, knock the head off. We see the head flying up in the air, blood dripping down, bounces off the ground. Camera pans back to Conan on his horse next to the cameo. Fatality. Now, I didn't make this up. There's actually a scene in Conan the Barbarian where he's riding on this horse and he's just cutting everybody's heads off. You just see heads rolling all over the place. I think I might watch this movie before this Khaos Reigns starts because it actually doesn't look bad at all. And I also think Conan was the inspiration for Tusk in Killer Instinct Gold, because just watching these clips, he really reminds me of Tusk. They kind of got the same weapon too, so I think there's something there. All right, so after Conan, our next DLC character is who? Our next DLC character is T-1000. Now, I'm not saying this is the order we're getting them in because nobody knows, but this is just how I got him on this list. So for T-1000, if you've ever seen the Terminator, then you already know what's going on. This man is a shapeshifter. He turned into this man's wife and things got pretty messy. So of course, he's not going to turn into this lady. I think it'll be cool if he turns into a random woman from Mortal Kombat. Maybe Scarlet. Let's say he turns into Scarlet. That'll be a good way to get her a little cameo spot in the game without making her a cameo. And she pulls off this fatality. He walks up to the other Mortal Kombat character. If you can see that arm right there, it turns into his little spike thing. And if you can see what's on the other side of this milk carton, things got pretty bloody, pretty messy. Now, the only problem with this here is the milk carton. Like, if they were to do this fatality, the milk carton is what really makes this thing so good. How would the Mortal Kombat character get a milk carton in their hand? Why would they have a milk carton in their hand? I think it would have to be something else they use. Unless you're using Homelander. I mean, the guy loves breast milk. Maybe you can have a box with some breast milk on it. I don't know how they would pull this off, but I think they can definitely do it. Now, if they really wanted to get crazy with it, they could kind of make the character that he transforms into. Let's say you're using Smoke. Let's say Smoke is getting the fatality done on him. You can have T-1000 transform into Scorpion and have him walk up to Smoke and Smoke kind of be ready to embrace him. And then he just whoosh, sticks it through his head. I think that'll be a cool way to do it as well, but you'd have to kind of animate too many different characters, so I don't know if they'd want to do that, but it'll definitely be a big W. Now, after he does this, we see him going from the character that he turns into back into T-1000. Fatality. Another one that would be golden. Now, his second fatality that they can use, this one would actually be really good too, but there's one more problem we run into this one. Now, if you ever seen this guy, then you know what's going on. So he transforms into that guy. So let's say you're beating up Smoke. He'll transform into Smoke. Somehow he gets behind Smoke, walks up and turns him around. Smoke gets shocked like, whoa, I'm looking at myself. What kind of sorcery is this? After that, he pulls out the finger. Now, it kind of looks like he's doing that dance where the guys go like this, but that's not what he's doing at all. He pulls out that finger. Smoke is terrified as he's looking at himself, pointing the finger at him. And then the fatality happens. Now, this is kind of like that same silver thing we saw in the last fatality, but this one is just with one finger. And it actually goes directly through his head. You can't see it because YouTube will cook us, but that's what's happening. Now, here's the problem we run into. A big part of this scene is the coffee being spilled on the floor. The Mortal Kombat character would not have any coffee, and I don't think just the finger through the eye would do enough justice. Now, in the scene, you can actually see the finger going through the eye as well. If you haven't seen it, look up on YouTube. This is pretty bloody. So I don't know if they want to do like potty stuff, but I think it'll be cool if when it happens, make pee start running down their leg. Have them pee all over the ground. It's humiliation, and it's a fatality. And I think that works perfectly. After the pee falls to the ground, T-1000 watches them fall, transforms back into T-1000, fatality. I think that's a good set as well. Now, the last character, but not the least, I think this is one people probably are the most excited for because he is the most current, and that is Ghostface, or she. After looking at that picture, I think it's definitely 75% chance that Ghostface will be a she. But honestly, I really don't care if it's a man or a woman because no matter who they are, Ghostface really can't fight. And this first fatality proves it because if you know anything about Scream, then you know what this is. You know this scene because it was iconic. And this would be perfect for a fatality. They could make it even more brutal than it was in the movie. But the problem is, how do we get to the garage? I mean, Omni-Man made it to a train station. But I mean, I guess he's a superhero or villain, so it makes sense. Homelander got up to the airplane, but I guess he's a superhero or a villain, so it makes sense. Liu Kang got to space, but he's a god, so that makes sense. Doesn't matter. There's got to be some way you can get Ghostface to this garage because this is a fatality. We can't deny if Ghostface is going to be in Mortal Kombat 1. But the problem here is, in this scene, Ghostface got his butt whooped. This woman whooped him. Like, he got lucky for this kill because, look, she had him on his neck. But she crossed through this this garage door, and she gets stuck. The bottom half is too big to get out. The things is too big to get back in. So she just got herself in this big mess. If she stayed there and kept fighting him, she probably would have won because she could have took the knife. But Ghostface realizes what's going on. He sees she's stuck. He turns that garage door on. Now we're in trouble because that garage door is lifting up. And as that garage door lifts up, she gets closer and closer to her fate. Now, as she goes up, her neck snaps between the garage door and the top of that house. It would be a lot of work but this would be a perfect fatality. I wonder why they didn't have sensors on that garage door though. But after the fatality, Ghostface, he like looks like he feels lucky. He's like, whew, I got out of that one. He just slides out the room. So I think they should kind of play into that as well. But our last fatality for today, for a guest character, is Ghostface's second fatality. And this is another one that would kind of be crazy, but come on. The movie scene is iconic. He goes and kills this lady's boyfriend. Then he comes back, sits by her while he watches the movie. You got a million ghost faces in the crowd. Everybody's just either stabbing her or pretending to stab her, but I don't think they think it's real. I really don't remember, but this was an insane scene. At the end, she stands up on the stage. Ah! Fatality. And you can even just leave his face showing on the screen like that. And I think this one would be perfect. So we got some perfect kills. I think if you look at the kills these characters have, these would be the best to make into fatalities. But that's just my opinion. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comment section. Also, let me know which one of these guys you're most excited about, because after looking at those Conan clips, I'm not going to lie, y'all, I'm excited for Conan. I hope he's a grappler. I hope he's a good grappler like Solomon Grundy was in Injustice 1, but I'm not hopeful on him because the guy just looks like a brute. But thank y'all for tuning into this video. Don't forget to drop a like on it and smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Bomb Squad, let's get to that.